My name is Tijs, and I'm going to talk about location. This is actually a very new presentation. It's also a beta application. I created it last night, and I wasn't really sure about what my point really was. So it's still somewhat fuzzy, but I think I somehow have a point, and if there's no point yet, I will create a 2.0 version, which I will be sharing later, and we can continue with that. So, good. My name is Tijs. I actually work as a marketeer, but I am interested in pretty much everything interactive, and especially mobile. I work for Proximity since 2 months, and I have been doing quite a bit of projects, little web applications, often Twitter-based in the past, but I have been focusing on mobile for the last few months. So that is really the well-known facts. I also have this tiny little secret, which is basically the first time ever I'm going to talk about. So I'll be sharing that with you. And that is really that I found out, and I actually recently started to admit that this is my problem. So I'm in the first phase. I found out that I have this little tracking disorder, and it started pretty early already. I have always been tracking things. I've been using application to track my computer usage. I've been posting my songs to Last.fm. I have a few hundreds of daily mugshots. I take a daily mugshot pretty much every day, and I never use it, but I still have this feeling that I have to do it. And location really made it worse. Everywhere I go, I have to check in. I feel the need to check in. I use Foursquare for that. I really have this urge to check in and just look at that data, and it really interests me. I'm doing the same thing for running, for example. I track my runs, which is actually a good thing, because I'm not too much of a sportive kind of type, but since I started tracking my runs, it really motivates me to really continue running. Well, I think over the last month or 2 months, I ran 2 times a week, which never really happened to me, but the fact that I track them and that I feel this urge again to track my runs and to compare my results really helps there. And it's even worse. I recently started working at Proximity, which means that I have to commute. I currently live in Hasselt, and I have to commute to Brussels every day. I created this application to find out how long it takes me to travel to Brussels, and when I have to leave home to get there as soon as possible. This is a jQuery Touch mobile application, which is actually a pretty cool technology. It's a jQuery plugin, and I thought Beth was going to talk about that today, but he has canceled this presentation. But it's really something very interesting. If you know about HTML and CSS, you can easily create iPhone applications and well, create your own mobile application. So I found out that it takes me about 70 minutes today to get in Brussels, and if I leave at 9 o'clock. So really, I'm trying to create all this data and to track everything. And I thought that, well, this may be interesting, but it doesn't make much sense. But I'm sure that there's somehow a way to make this into something more commercial. And that is exactly what you're seeing when you look at what, for example, applications such as Foursquare are doing when they are trying to bring value to small businesses. So what I am doing recently, and I only started that a few weeks ago, is well, researching and thinking about how these four different keywords or these four different areas can be combined and how we can create value, especially for small local businesses. I don't know how you work, but whenever I start a project, I need to have a name for that first. And if I can't find a good name, it's usually a bad idea as well. So that's the first thing I focus on. And I was thinking about a cool name, and I thought about Loyalcation as a new buzzword to describe the location and loyalty thing. And I thought, well, that sounds pretty good. Let's find out who's working on Loyalcation as well. And to my surprise, it really returns 0 results in Google. And all of the domain names were still free. I got one yesterday to make sure if any of you think this is a cool idea, we still have one. But the other ones are still free, so if you really think that Loyalcation is a cool name, you can get the others and benefit from the early success. Also, it's really easy to score in Google since there's really no competition today. So I'm calling it